Alright, so hopefully stupid ass issues are fixed. Somehow it got changed to unlisted, which I know I didn't do, but oh well. So I changed to public and it seems to be working again. Blah. So let's see, it's September 28th. News-wise, we already had one dud. It was, I don't know, CPI. No, it was durable goods. It was a dud across 3 pairs, so no reaction there. We have Yellen up next, so let's load up our normal pairs. Let me go ahead and close these 3 because these are all the wrong size for normal. And let's go ahead and template it out. Build wrinkle 1. Oops, template, wrong one. Build 1. There we go. You can see it was kind of a dud. It slowly moved up after that, but we never had any big response. So file, open offline, M11. GBP USD. Sorry, I should have done this before I started, but I was trying to get the goddamn streaming working. And template. Boy, my cat's being an asshole today. Okay, so that's GBP. Let's get you back. Bad thing is I'm going to have to turn this right back at 9. So we got 55 minutes. And Euro USD. Template. Build 1. File, open offline. Euro USD. I have to fix up the template a little bit. I almost have the template everyone for everybody, so if you need it, don't worry. And let's get you in the right spot. USD template build 1. Ooh, daddy was bad. Okay, I guess we're good there. I screwed up on the news then. I was running the wrong size bars. That would have been bad if it moved. I probably would have lost a little chunk. So I guess we could say I screwed up. If we go back to it, USD JPY never set up correctly for news. Let's take a look at the charts. GBP USD, it's relatively flat, broke out of range, and then immediately went back into a range. It only broke out of range by, 5.8 pips, so nothing special there. There it is on this. Let us do something. I'll fix it later, actually. Let's bring alerts over so we can see them. GBP, Euro USD, or Euro. Euro had a slight move up. Here's news. So this was 7:30, and we're looking. It's flat right now. I have the feeling everything's holding for Yellen. If it's working, say something in chat, because I don't even know if anybody can see it yet. You can say it in Slack and chat here, wherever. Again, it looked like somehow my settings on the YouTube channel got put to unlisted, so nobody could see me. So I was talking to myself for a day or two, I guess, which was lovely. USD JPY, again, we're looking flat here too, so 3 out of 4 pairs are flat. Yay, thank you, Paul. And here is AUD USD. Again, we're looking flat. This is 10 pips up, 10 pips down, no opportunities. I'm hoping this is just because they're waiting for Yellen, because otherwise it's blah. Here's the little magical dots. This is coming up in the future, but these do not repaint. You can tell they don't repaint because here's a down signal, here's an up signal. There was no full-blown down signal here. So this up signal was actually a fail. Although you could have gotten some pips out of it. For what I'm going to be using for it was a fail. Here's a down and here's an up. So that one's a good. When I say it's not repainting, is if it doesn't give an opposite signal, that means that basically the signal was premature. We can also see here's a blue dot. It went up and then it came back down. It doesn't repaint It doesn't disappear. Here's a blue dot and it dropped immediately. So it does not repaint, which is a good thing. Good lord, I'm gonna have to beat my cat. Alright, so what was I saying? We got Yellen coming up at 9. Someone asked what happens with Yellen news. Who knows? A lot of times it's a dud. Last month it was a 60, was it 38 pip move or a 60 pip move? I don't remember. I think it was a total of 71 pips she pushed the market in 1 minute. And we ended up pulling in, I don't remember, I think it was 30-some pips, 38 pips, I believe, is what it pulled in. But it was an unexpected move, so... As for signals, right now we're flat, so there's not going to be anything going out. Like I said, I have the feeling the market's holding for this twit to do her speech, testify, whatever. Again, guys, if you're in the TA group and you have not emailed me yet, get off your butt and email me so I can get you into the Slack group. The Skype group I got locked out of. Again, it's like well, one of them was my fault and 2 of them are Skype screw-ups. One of them I had left the room by accident, which was real smart, leaving your own damn group. But I didn't do anything this time, and I'm completely locked out. Whenever I try and type in the Skype room, I just get a little spinning circle. I've tried it through the desktop version and through the web version and through the stupid, what is it, Skype preview that's built into the new anniversary edition. This one. It sucks balls. It barely even loads. But email me, or you can Skype me directly. I do still have Skype open. Skype me directly or email me your email address so I can get you added into the Slack group. Slack's a lot better. Memory usage uses about 20 megabytes of RAM. I mean, this is so much freaking better for me. It doesn't slow anything down. The only reason I'm leaving Skype open is for personal one-on-one thing. Like, if you need something real quick. Eventually I'm going to get away from that and get everyone onto Slack 100%, but right now it's kind of an in-between for me. I know some people did not want to do this change, but it's pointless for me not to do the change if I'm getting locked out of the room and I can't help people. So I don't see any point in not having the Slack group up and running now. Where my moderation skills and me getting bumped out of it my chances are 0 now. Skype it finally pissed me off. Just like freaking Outlook.com, which is who I use for my email, they made all these great new changes for it, and half the time now it loads up and just reloads and reloads. Microsoft can suck a big one. While we're doing this, let's talk a little bit about TAPFX, the FX system. A couple little changes to it. Well, not visually, some major changes. Let's see. Let's zoom in here. And we'll take a look at it. Ignore the dots, guys. They are not something you will have yet. It is something I am working on for the future. But I need them running. The coder's having some serious shitbag issues with it. Because it works on, for instance, AUD USD, Euro USD. But it doesn't work on USD, JPY, and GBP USD. Which I can see with USD JPY. Because maybe they screwed up on putting in the number of decimal points on the price. But GBP is a 5 decimal point price. So I don't know what the hell's going on. And the coder is shit-brain useless too. And I don't mean that in a mean way. It's a very odd issue we're having. Okay, so you're getting an alert. It says alert line change. That is basically this. It's the pinky and the light blue. Now remember all the clouds and everything we had? All those have been combined into one singular line. This blue and then red line. Everything's been combined into that. On the 1 minute chart, it's just that. You can load up whatever mix of TAPFX you want. This is just to give me the general trend direction. And this is for entries. If we look at it, and here, let's stretch it out big, and we'll turn off the scroll. We'll see if we can go back and see the market's been pretty flat for the most part. We could talk about maybe an opportunity here just so you can do it. Once this thing goes, I'm going to have a full walkthrough for it. Okay, so first let's cover why did I change it? Well, one, when we were having all those clouds, even though they are pretty and everything, and again, you do not have to switch to this one. I prefer it because it's so much faster. Let's see, I have a question. Let's see, stream up went bye-bye because it was up and down all the time. So I'm using YouTube Live from now on. As long as you save this link and if you subscribe, I believe, if maybe someone could chime in, if you subscribe anytime I go live, it will send you an email saying I just went live on YouTube, so you don't even have to check. To get into Slack, post your in the Skype chat, put in your email address there real quick, and I will add you to. I'll send you an invite to the Slack group. But StreamUp is completely gone. It was unstable, unreliable. It was hell. The YouTube is doing really good, and it seems like it may have been a mistake from me or not. Okay, so here's what the alerts look like. AUD USD alert line changed to down. So if we look over at AUD USD, basically what that means is up here. You can't see it yet, but it changed to down and down. Let's go back to here. I was on this one, and let's see, Roderick. What was I going to say? Oh, I'm covering some changes to the Forex system. You also have access to the Forex system, Roderick. So when you want to get set up on that, let me know. If you need help getting set up still, because it seems like you're having a few issues, let me know and I can team viewer in, and I'll run you through the setup. As soon as I'm done with live, if you're still on, I can team viewer on. If not tomorrow, I can postpone live and jump on. Just let me know what you want to do. I can jump onto your computer after live, or we can set up and I will get on. Let me check news real quick for tomorrow and make sure that is doable. I can jump on your computer after 7:30. We have unemployment claims tomorrow and final GDP. So if you want, I can jump on your computer about 30 minutes earlier than this tomorrow, because news only takes about 5 minutes. But just let me know how you want to do it. Okay, so back to where we were. Basically what we're looking for a trade is we're looking to not be flat on the 1 minute. So on the 1 minute, we don't want it looking like this. We want a trend. Right now it's popping in and out. Remember, on this is 10 pips up, this is 10 pips down. We're looking to take 10 pips. Alright, let me get you an invite sent to you on Slack. So while I'm getting him an invite to Slack, when we see this is a no trade time. We don't want that. We want price to be in an upwards. We want some kind of angle on it, 20 degrees, 30 degrees, 40, whatever. But right now it is flat. So this is a no-go for a Forex trade. But, and we'll take a look at it here in a second, for binary options, it's good because since we're in a range, we're in about a 10 pip range though, maybe a little bit more. Give me a sec, let me get this invite sent, and then we'll talk about what to do here. Roderick, Roderick, invite. Okay, Roderick, your invite was sent. Just check your email, it'll give you Slack. Slack you can do from your phone, you can do it from a website, or you can install the desktop app. Entirely up to you. Where was I? Oh, we were talking about, talking about when we see something like this on this chart, what should we take a look at then? I personally would say take a look at it on the binary side. If we look, the range is about 15 pips. That's perfect for a binary. It's flat. So let's just do a file. New. Ay, son of a bitch, man. I think I have too much coffee. My hand's shaking a little bit. New chart. This was, what chart were we on? Son of a bitch. I'm a mess. File, new chart, AUD USD, and we'll go to 5 minute and template it to oi. And as we can see here with a 15 pip range, it's still kind of tight, but we could see confluence here for this candle. Might have been okay. The daily open's dead smack in the freaking middle. It's not looking great, but there would be a couple opportunities here. But that's what I'm saying. Once this goes into a trend, then what do you want to do? It's in a range, so screw it. Watch it here, and we can turn this off. I'll come back to that later, but this is how you know. If you're using this, it's a great indicator that you don't need to be... Not indicator, it's a... Fuck me, man. I'm just excited to be talking again. You can use the 1 minutes to determine the range, and the inlines, which comes with the Forex program, is a great way to see, just an eyeball real quick, there's a 10 pip range. If it breaks down below this, we might have a possible run down. And let's go back now. So, la la la. Let me zoom out a bit here. And Roderick, since you're new, please don't get confused. Focus on the binary side first. When we look at a chart and it looks like, I don't know, let's see. When you see something like this on the chart, this whole section here, this is when you don't want to be trading the binary system. You want to go to practice the scalping. I know you're new, so don't get too carried away and too worried about it. Well, it's just a step-by-step learning process. If we look into here, though, this is a 20 pip range, and price was moving up and down, and now it's holding into a range. So again, I would suggest you could look on the binary side of things. Even though the range was super freaking tiny, as we can see, it was 1, 2, 3 up. I mean, just pushing it, the max we can get out of that is about 8 pips. That's too tight. I think news is holding for Yellen. Here's Euro again. This was news when I woke up, so I wasn't awake for this at all. And now it's moving down. If we look over here, it is moving down. Let's see. Trying to make it easier for y'all to see. Okay, so I made the lines bigger. So what are we looking for when we're in a trade is, and now this is going to be similar to the TAPFX. You want price to be consistently below our little, remember this is the combination of all those moving averages, the cloud moving averages that I made, they were slowing things down. So we want price to be below it. What's the next thing we want? And this one is nothing special. This is something that the coder threw on there to show me. We named it alert line, but it's actually an ATR stop with an alert. I'll get into it. ATR is average true range. So it's nothing big. So if we're looking, we have the red line first. Here's our moving average. It went red. But if we look below it, it was blue. So this candle here, it switched. You notice there is no red or blue on it. If you wanted to be cautious, we could wait. Well, there might be, but to be honest, it's not going to show until that candle finishes. So to be safe, we could jump in right here. If we wanted to be extra safe, why? We could wait for it to break below here. That's the concept of it. It's the same thing with less clutter on the screen, to be very honest. If you like the clutter on the screen and the M8's helped you visualize it better on when to get in and when to get out, that's great. One of the things I kept seeing people doing over and over again was getting in at the bottoms, like they'd get in right here. We want to avoid that. What we can wait for here then is a pullback and then back down, but look what we have here is the daily open down here. Daily open is, it's going to hit it and bounce probably. It's most likely not going to push through. The template, I'll have it ready for you by Friday. I just want to finish up a few things on it. I want to make sure the alerts are working right and everything. I've been using it, but we've been slowly dialing it in to run faster so that the complaint I was getting for some people, not everyone has like 16 megabytes of RAM. We had some people on 4 megabyte systems, 4 megabytes of RAM, gigabyte, whatever. They had a less RAM, and their system was bogging down with just 4 pairs open. So this, from what I can see, completely takes care of it. I have 2 people testing it, and they're not having any issues so far with speed. Sorry, my nose is sniffly. Once we get into it, I'll show a couple trades. It's 8 minutes to the bell, and then we have Yellen up, so we'll see what happens. We can see here, like, it dropped below, but again, we're still in. This was about 10 pip. That was a 10 pip drop. That would be kind of a risky trade, but it did break range right here. So you could actually have jumped in there. I'm not going to get into the little frying pan. If you turn this upside down, it's a frying pan pattern. Here's the handle, here's the frying pan, here's the drop. You can flip it upside down, it works either way. It's a pattern showing that we're going to get a run in a certain direction. Sorry, I'm burpy. And let's see. Trying to think what else. For now, we're kind of bored. Oops, had to answer Grandpa. Sorry, I was setting Grandpa up with a work email address. He's a real estate agent, and he needed one. Can't piss off the grandparents or the kids don't get presents. I know that sounds bad, but it's the truth. Alrighty, so in about, well, we got, the US Bell. I'm gonna go take a pee-pee. And then I got a couple Skype messages I need to answer, but we're all good on that so far. So we have Yellen coming up. Someone asked me what's going to happen when Yellen speaks. I think I already covered this, but we don't know. A lot of people can talk, blah, 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 but we really don't know what's going to happen with it. Because she could come out and say, I'm going to jack up this, jack up that, and it goes to shit. Like last month I kept saying, I'm not expecting any move, I'm not expecting any move, and we pulled out a shit ton of pips out of it. So what do? The best thing is be prepared for it. Hello, what is it? Pallav? Don't know how to say your name, man. Pallav? I screw up names really bad, so... On the audio side, I just got my internet fixed yesterday. I actually ended up doing it myself. What happened, so you know, because since it did affect the signals, Time Warner got bought out by Charter Spectrum, what they're calling it. And what they tried to do is rebrand the modem to Spectrum, so it no longer said Time Warner, and they bricked the modem. A friend of mine works at Charter, so I had him send me the firmware file, and I uploaded the file and got my internet up and running myself. I was like, screw that. I used to be Tier 3 tech support for Verizon, Frontier, and a bunch of other internet companies, so it's easy. But just so you know what happened with the internet, it's back up and running. Let me know if there's any problems with it, though, since I did fix it myself. And he wasn't exactly sure if that was the right firmware file, but it seemed to work, because I could not get it. A tech cut doesn't come out until actually Friday. I have the feeling they bricked a lot of people's modems, but I just wanted it up and running. So I couldn't wait till Friday because I gave my neighbor my router so that I could, because my router has a big broadcast range, so that I could use his Wi-Fi or his internet. But he has AT&T and he only gets 10 down and like I think 3 up, and I'm at like 100 down and I think 10 up. So if there's questions, make sure you ask them. Remember, we're in a holding pattern for the US Bell. Do not trade the US Bell. If you get into it, you might get into a nice, beautiful trade, and all of a sudden it switches directions. For instance, let's look at, I guess, AUD USD. No, it was GBP. Okay, here's GBP USD. US Bell's coming. So we had a nice downward move. It bottomed out. Over here we had a little, I guess you could call it turbulence, support and resist. When support and resist is combined, I'm just calling it turbulence. You have a little bit of turbulence area here that this is running into. There was our pullback and down. We could have got back in. Since I'm going to be screwing around a little bit, I don't want to. This is right before the bell, so here's our pullback. We would be 1 pip late entering in it, but let's do a sell, and let's see what happens on the US Open. I'm just doing 0.01 pips because this is, I don't want to blow my money. I do not have signals turned on. Don't worry, you're not going to be getting a crazy trade here. So if the US Bell went in our direction, great, but what happens if it goes in the opposite? It's going to jump back up. Let's zoom in a bit and take a look. Was this trade qualified? Yes. Here was our first possible entry. Well, this was flat, 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 so we had to wait for it to break in range. So our first candle that we would have looked at for entry would have been this one, and we could have written it down. That's, yeah. Now see, as the US Bell's coming close, 828, it is popping up. We'll see what happens. What we might be getting here is consolidation while it decides. We don't know. Okay, so your entry is here. Let's see. Plus my spread, that would have put me down here. That would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 pips possible. So I would have probably, with a 10 pip goal, I would have still been in this. But since I didn't have a lot of momentum moving in either directions, about 5 or 6 pips, I would have closed this out. So I would have probably closed this bitch out at, here's entry, drop down, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would have got closed around here because we don't have a heavy momentum down. If we have heavy momentum, I'll go for 10 pips. Light momentum or breaking out of a range, I go 5 to 6 pips. So somewhere around here, it would have got closed out. And remember why? We don't have momentum showing us in a direction. This is our first initial move down. It might pop up, it might pop down. We don't know. We are also at the US bell. Remember, don't trade during this fucker. It can bite you in the ass. As the USD opens, it might drop if it has strength. Since Yellen's coming up in 30 minutes, I don't know what it's going to do. But we also, if we look to the left, we're in a little bit of, there's support and resist, so it's like turbulence. Price is going to go blah, blah, blah. It's like flying through a freaking cloud. Now remember what I said, we still don't have a lot of momentum down, and we have a swing here with the bell coming. I'm just going to put it here. We'll pull in the stop loss also. This is just a screw around trade. And let's get the pips on it. So it's at negative 1.5 pips. You see how, because of the spread, I'm already negative. Even though price dropped down below, I'm still negative. I have a 1.8 pip spread on GBP. The high spread, guys, is for y'all's benefit, not mine. So it's almost closing out. I'm going to put it up to here just for the hell of it. Because of the spread, putting the stop loss where I want it, I have to adapt for the spread. It's a pain in the ass, but for y'all guys, like yesterday, I took a, or was it yesterday or the day before, I took a tiny little trade and I made like half a pip and someone else made 3 pips. That's what I want to see. Because it's going to help out the people that are getting the signals. Alright, so US bell just hit. Let's see what happens. So AUD USD alert line changed. While that's running, let's jump over there. AUD USD is flat, so we wouldn't be taking anything. Now on the binary option side, you could go ahead and load up your binary charts. But for here, we went to a blue line, but look, it's going to probably come up to here and hit. We have the US open though, so it could be the US pushing up. Here's daily open, and we have a swing here. Remember, we have all this right here as a support also that's helping with this to push it back down if it hits it, and then we have up here. I know, Roderick, if you're still watching, you're new, what I'm doing, and I highly recommend doing this on your binary charts too. I'm identify support and resistance. You want to always be looking to the left and look at support and resistance. We have some here, and we have some down there. As we can see, this one jumped up and went to shit. Now it's dropping down. Not looking for too big of a move here, like I said. I put it right by the previous swing. We do also have one here. But we can see it's consolidating a little bit. It's not going up nor down. It's just moving up and down, up and down. Hopefully we get a jump down, but we will see. Euro's still breaking down. If I would have been watching, there was our next entry point, but remember, here's our entry point. I have a 1.4 pip spread, so that knocks out one candle automatically. That puts my entry here, so I have a 1-2 pip profit potential there. So this would be a pass. This would be a no touchy until it breaks through this. Now let's zoom out a bit, look to the left. What do we have? Other than the line's already there for you. I don't want to label. You son of a bitch. And these are zones. Don't take them as lines. Here's the line, but it's a zone of support and resist. And back here again, remember, look to the left. We got it right there too. UJ is completely flat as shit, so we're not even going to bother looking at it. AU, remember what I said? It was stalling out here. Here's our daily open. At most, it might pop up to there. So we're back to GBP. It's not doing a damn thing too. This is the 1 minute, and here's the euro. So it drops slightly, but then we're getting a bounce back up. If it drops, hopefully it'll drop down to here, and that'll be out. I don't have a lot of faith in it. I'll probably leave it on this screen and go take a little bit of a tinkle, piss, whatever you want to call it. And man, blow my nose, because God, I'm dying. Cool, Roderick. The biggest thing I could recommend for you, Roderick, and this is right before I go to the bathroom, focus on one thing first. Let's get you into the binary. Binary is going to teach you entry. It's going to teach you how to read the charts a little bit. then from watching my videos, and when I say it's in a trend, heavy trend, turn it off and jump onto this, and you can follow along with me on the mornings or review the video, and you'll start learning trend trading with Forex. Both of them, I would say binary would be, your goal would be to be in it for 1 to maybe 2 years and then get out and switch over to Forex. Binary for me is still fun. When it's a flat range of 10 to 15 pips, I will still trade binary. It's always something to drop back on, because if I'm in a range like this, not like this, but I should have jumped out there, but oh well. The spread, see how it touched but it didn't close? That was the spread. I'm going to let it run. We might get another pullback here and a drop. But what I was saying is, Roderick, take it slow. Don't be in a rush. The people that I see who rush through it, and I know this sounds bad, but the people who basically, they sign up, or even once they get into binary options or Forex, they literally will blow 3 months of their lives of wasting their time in front of the computer. I recommend doing 1 to 2 hours a day. Sitting down for 1 to 2 hours a day. Don't overwhelm yourself. After that, you lose focus. You're also, I guess you could say your capacity to learn, in my opinion, is kind of diminished. Take it slow. Take it little bites at a time, and you'll do fine. Sorry, my nose is killing me here. Okay, so we almost had a close. Like I said, because of the spread, it did not close. Even though it touched our little freaking liney, it didn't close because of spread. This is something you're going to have to deal with. Now, would I be worried here? It looks like, yeah, we are getting a little bit of upward movement, but screw it. We got the stop loss in there. So I am going to take a quick break. Euro line changed. And let's zoom in again. So what happened on Euro? We said, why didn't I want to get into this? Because price was going to hit here and bounce up. We did not get in. It might drop down, take another shot at it. We'll see. USJ still flat. AUD USD. I'll draw a line on it real quick. This is our first resist it has to break, right where it's at now. And that's now. See right here? We have a possibility for a run up. Here, I'll drop this down to 0.01 and we'll get in if I can get it before it moves. 0.01. So what happens? It has a huge resist to break through here. And Roderick, one of the things, even though I'm on Forex and Renko, the support and resist I'm talking about directly correlates over to binary. So if we get a green candle here, I'll open up a buy before I go to the bathroom. Hopefully it won't take too long. Candles are taking less than 1 minute to form. As we can see, it's 1 minute across for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The last 10 candles have been like 1 minute candles. Otherwise, we're getting a bounce down. But let's see where it goes, and then we'll be out. So GBP is down here. It hit. That would be our re-entry candle, and this one's going to close. You can quote me. It's going to hit here. It's a bounce, and boom. We will see. If it doesn't, I'm going to go ahead and close it once it hits it. Or it might not. We might be getting, this is a little mini FIBO move. I think it's going to close, personally. I give it like a 90% of it's going to hit the red line and close. There we go. Now, see my spread? I'm still a pip above. I'm going to go ahead and close it because I'm done. I have to go to the bathroom. So that was 3.3 pips. Nothing great, but there you go. Plus, we don't have a lot of momentum. It might drop here, but I want to get out before I go to the bathroom because even though it's 0.01, it's still a real money. Okay, so this is Euro. Remember, Euro's hitting daily open. I'd want it to come down here and break through. We actually went to a blue line here, and we're on red line here. So, actually we're blue and blue, so it's indicating it might be an upwards move. But it's a no-no. Here is UJ. It finally decided to do something. It broke range. The candle has not closed yet. You don't want to take this as a sell. Wait till the candle closes and it tells you what it's doing. Let's see, how much longer we have on the candle. I thought this had a candle timer on it. I guess not. I'll throw a candle timer on it later. I guess that's something. Okay, so it closed, and what did we get? Here was our previous, right? Here's our previous swing. Let's do the line. So it closed right at it. Basically, for me, this is what ambiguous. It doesn't tell us is price going to go up or down. So we don't want to jump into this one. It did not fully break out of the range. Now, if it closed down here, I would probably watch one candle and see which way it goes. Now, depending what we had, like I said, if you're on binary, this would probably be a good buy up. I don't have that loaded right now, so Here is AUD USD. Again, remember it hasn't broken through. I was looking for a close up. We did get a close up above. Let's see. So we did get a close up. Depending what we have here, though. Let's wait and see. Let's zoom out one. Let's go for it. Screw it. There's our buy-in. And that'll give you something to watch while I go to the bathroom and empty out my mucous membranes. I really gotta blow my nose. So two possibilities here. This thing's gonna shoot up to here and bounce down, or it's just gonna collapse down to about this blue line down here. I did not send a signal for this one, guys, so don't worry. Right now the markets aren't trending, so I don't see a point in sending a signal. We're just going to kind of show possibilities. Now this is, again, we don't have a lot of momentum, so first let's go ahead and let's drop it to right above here. It might possibly make it up to there. I doubt it. Second, let's bring in our stop loss to... It's breaking both, so if I put the stop loss to here with the spread, it's probably going to hit it right away. We'll leave it as it is so we can see this is probably a bounce downward on the range, which means you should definitely be doing binary on this one and just trading these bounces. So what I estimate, I think it'll come down to here, then bounce back up. So here, I'll draw an arrow. It's going to come around here. Hold on, I got a message. We'll go green. And okay. Okay, so what I think is, here's the daily. It might bounce off that and go up, but what I think is it's probably going to break down through it all the way down to here. We'll say, I had to guess, it's going to hit somewhere around, it's not going to make it down to the red line. I don't know. Probably will. If we get a bounce up here, this trade might work out, but if not, oh well. Risk-reward ratio on this one is totally off. So ignore it. Right, like I said, right now I'm just trying to take some trades. These are basically mostly for educational purposes. Give me a second. Something's doubling up on messages here. It's annoying me. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go take a quick break. Like I said, if this bounces here, look at how we got. This is a bounce, bounce. This was a bigger retrace than bounce. We'll see if it bounces up. If it does bounce, if we get another green candle, I'd say that we might make a little money off that one. If not, it's not going to. It's going to drop down to probably somewhere around this green arrow. I will be back. Give me like 5 minutes. I got to blow my nose, dude. I don't want to be sniffling on the damn camera this whole time. So I will be right back in a few minutes. Let me mute this and I'll be back. Alright, so we did get the bounce, but again, we don't have a lot of momentum. It's starting to shape up a little bit for... This is AUD USD. It's control. If we look, if I could get to the right chart, it did come up and we have a little bit of bounce. We'll see if this is a pullback, then moves back up. It was almost there, but again, we don't have a shit ton of momentum. It's coming off flat. It does have, if we look left again, what happened? There we go. So why did it bounce down? So we'll see if it tries again and makes it up to there. Again, guys, if you have questions, please ask. It's kind of pointless for me to talk if you don't say anything. And if you don't know what's going on, you can Skype me, Slack me directly. If you click on my name in Slack, that's another thing. I think we have someone watching. A majority, not majority. I'm slowly moving people over to Slack. Skype has been a real pain in the ass, and basically I wouldn't get messages. I'm locked out of the trading access room. So shoot me your email address so I can get you into the Slack room. It runs on your phone, it runs through a website or an app. So if you're at work, you can run it on your phone, or you can run it on a website. You can also download a desktop app. This is the desktop app, and I can get you added in. It only uses up about 20 megabytes of memory, so it's really lightweight, and it works a lot better in my opinion. So here's our next run up. Since we don't have a lot of momentum, I could possibly go ahead and close this, but we'll let it run. And there we go. So 4.2 pips. Nothing great, but this one's shaped up nice. Did I know it was going to move up? No. My entry was shit. I should have waited for a pullback here and then up, but oh well. I was just kind of trying to show it. Try to think. We got 10 minutes till news, so we are going to start setting up for that in a minute. Let's see. Fitz, let me know if tomorrow, that'll be 2 people that I need to set up. If you want me to jump on your work computer tomorrow and set you up, let me know. That way I can schedule it. I can do it from my time, like an hour and a half ago on. And I can even do it live so that it can be a recording for you. But just let me know how you want to do that. News is going to be yelling. Like I said, we don't know what it's going to do, but it's worth straddling it since last time it was a 71 pip jump. We'll straddle GBP and Euro. I'm going to skip USD JPY since Yellen is mainly European news. We'll do the 2 Europeans and skip the yen. 9:30 we have Draghi speaking, and crude oil inventories. U.S. cattle come up at 9:30, so it's going to be a bit of news straddles here from 9 to 9:30. No clue, lost my train of thought here. Let's start at the beginning again. GBP USD. GBP still USD, like I said. See, we had a little bit of move down, then it moved right back up. We don't have a lot of momentum there. That was our momentum move, and again, let's look back. That's been since news, so price has been moving pretty fast. Oh, my cat is pissing me off, man. He wants in the room, out of the room, in the room, out of the room. Okay, Euro USD, if we look, these look almost similar. So really we don't want to be touching those two right now. Euro USD, I can say, is moving slower. How do I know it's moving slower? Here's 730. That's the news straddle. So there was the news straddle. And here was our news straddle on GBP USD, but look where it is. All the way over here. So GBP USD, if I had to pick the two to be trading, I would pick GBP. Now, I'd prefer USD because the spread's way lower, but oh well. I guess, I mean, you don't get what you want. So USD, JPY, still flat. We got 9 minutes till news, so we're going to set up for that here in a second. AUD USD, remember it did come above. It broke the first range, which was the reason I got in. Remember, it broke this peak, it broke this swing high or resist. That's the reason I jumped in it. We wasn't expecting too much out of it. The second one, if we look to the left, it hit it, dropped, peaked up again. Now if we zoom out a little bit and look to the left, what's it struggling with now? This section. So then it's got to bounce and move up through there. With Yellen coming up in 8 minutes, we're not touching anything though. Alright, so I guess still 8 minutes to go. Let's zoom back in. It's too small for me. Yes. So we pulled 4.2 on that, which actually wasn't too bad because you could see it started to struggle again. And like I said, if we're in a heavy upwards trend, I'm looking to pull 8 to 10 pips. 4 to 6 pips for this is great. And we can see it changed directions, red and red, so we'd be looking for a downward move. And GBP changed also, red and red, so it's a possible downward move. Again, since we're not in a distinctive trend, it could just be bouncing up and down. This could be the new range forming right here. With news coming up in 7 minutes now, again, we are not touching anything. So as what we have is 9 o'clock, we have Federal Yellen speaking. 9:10 is Bullard, and 9:30 is Draghi with crude oil inventories. At 9:30, 9 o'clock will straddle, and 9:30 will straddle US CAD. But other than that, not touching anything. Remember, these oil trades, I would say, are optional. I do them just for the educational portion of it, but I'm going to do them at a very small lots. Sometimes they're great, sometimes they're not. Like last time, it was negative 6.2 up to 2.4 is what they're estimating. That's a possible move. So we will see what happens. We got 5 minutes left, so let's go ahead and we're gonna do GBP and Euros USD. So I'm gonna close this one. Let's get the alerts off there first. So I'm gonna close my Renko, and Euro, we're gonna close the Renko. Now let's go to GBP. And guys, if you're in the news trading program, this is where you want to start paying attention. Template, build 3. Because we're going to build Renko. Ay, Jesus, that was horrible. Build 3. I need to kill those other templates. Okay, so we build 3, so GBP USD. Let's open up our 3-minute offline. GBP USD. M33. Template. And back to it. You're going to use the same Renko news. Let's hit F7. On Yellen's speeches, I'm going to go 7 pips with a 20 pip gap. Let's bump it to 400. We're going to use a 40 on the initial. Again, guys, let's go over the... Oops, I screwed up. This is a 9 o'clock set. So let's load up 9 o'clock. That's good enough. 9/27. It is not 27. It is the 28th. So let's change the date to the 28th. 9 o'clock. Close on opposites true, so everything there is good. And we're doing 5 seconds out, 4 seconds out, so let's save 9 o'clock so that we can just load it up on our next one without having to do anything. And let's zoom out 1. Alright, so what's up next? Let's turn on our little thingy. And let's move it into position. I am OCD about my charts being in order. You'll notice after time. Template, build 3, and did I close my Euro USD? Yes, I did. So let's go to File, Open Offline, and we're going to look for our Euro USD 33. It tells you right here to what to look for. Remember, this is for FXCM, guys. This is what, after filling out my spreadsheet for the last 2.5 weeks, I determined that a 3 pip puts me into range with the spread, the average spread that we get. Blah, blah, blah. Build Renko 3. What the hell? Renko news, sorry. Man, am I out there today. Why are we not updating? Holy hell. My button popped off when I touched it, and this is a $110 keyboard. Alright, so F7 loads our 9 o'clock. And okay, and if this moves or does anything, we'll review log files. We had a dud for the last two, so... This is Euro CHF. What am I doing? No wonder. Oh my god, this is why we want to double check everything. File, open offline, Euro USD. Yeah, I'm that much of a mess. It's okay. As long as you double check, like I said, these stupid mistakes that even I make. Template, build news. Orinco news. I can't even say it right. Load, 9 o'clock. And okay. Alright, so we're set. So what are the things we want to check? Do we have a happy face? Yes, we do. So that means we're ready to go. Hit our P. Yeah, that sounds weird if you don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's go through charts and let's close everything that we don't need running. So what I do is I minimize. And that's going to show Euro USD we want, GBP we want, offline we don't. What am I doing right here? Look at all these are minimized. The two that we're going to be watching are Euro and GBP. So what's the next? Click the little window panes, and bam. And we're set. So 2 minutes to spare. Questions, hit me up. Let me know. If we get a movement out of this, we'll review log files. If not, it'll be another dud. I have no idea on this one, guys. Last time I was jumping up and down saying, oh, it's not going to move, it's not going to move, and that made me look like an ass. So I'm going to go with I don't know. It's not on the list of things to move, but like I said, it all depends on what she says. And what do we got? 1 minute. Actually, we got about 40 seconds. So 5 seconds out, stage 2 kicks in. Stage 2 is what? It's going to post a buy and sell order 200 pips out. And then 1 second out. Here, I'm going to make it really, really freaking... I think this is an old support and resist line. I don't know if I can squeeze in 200 pips. Let's see. In 10 seconds, it's going to draw 200 pips. Then it's immediately going to bring it into 6 pips or 7 pips. And now. Oops, see, it was too fast to even do it because... Okay, so let's open these up a little bit. And news just hit. She didn't do shit. No shit. See, there's the huge difference from last month to this month. Last month was a 71 pip jump, and this month was not a damn thing. So like I said, don't know what she was going to do. I'll get some water. Okay. Is there a freaking bug in my water? Hey, there's a bug in my water. I'm going to have to go dump it out and get some more. And I drank it after I saw it. That's disgusting. Alright, so let's get back to where we were. Yeah, I feel a little ucky now. I drank a bug. So template, let's get us back to where we need to be. Build 1. Let's close the 33 pip boxes. We're no longer doing news. We're back to normal. Actually, fuck, man. With as close as news is... If you have questions to answer, let's do it. Because we got FOM speech and a Draghi speech. 10 minutes till the speech, and then Draghi at 9:30. So we have an actual 29-minute break, but I'm not going to be trading any of these. I'm going to be trading US CAD for the oil announcement. Template. So if you have questions on anything, binary, Forex, news, hit it up. Because we're in kind of a dead zone for actually doing trades. Give me a sec. Let's see, Paul's question, am I doing 3 pip? If you are on FXCM, and I kind of explained this on another video, but I don't know if anyone saw it because I didn't know YouTube was screwing up. For FXCM, due to the average pip from the spreadsheet I'm God damn, I'm an idiot. Yes, it's a 3 pip Rinko boxes for all news on FXCM. Reason being is I was seeing the spread was 10 to 15 pips. I still have Euro USD open, so we'll take a look at that. Let me load this one up correct, and I'll explain what I'm talking about by the... Okay, let me get loaded up here. And then Roderick, I'll get your question too. Let me get one at a time. We have nothing better to do right now. Okay, so why did we switch to a 3 pip spread? Okay, so when we were looking at news, in the spreadsheet from the log is what we were seeing in news was we were getting a 10 to, the max I saw was 14.8. But after about 2 weeks of watching FXCM, what I noticed, and you should have noticed, was the average spread on a news release with them, no matter what the news is, except for NFP and FOMC, was about 10 pips, give or take. It was 8 pips up to 14 pips, but the average is about 10 to 12 pips. So let's say we do, and let's say this is the news candle, and we're going to do 3, 6. We're going to do a 6 pip straddle, which is right here. And right, let's see, actually down 2. And let me mark it in white. Okay, so white is the news candle. We're doing a 6 pip spread, so price jumps up 3 pips, jumps up 3 pips. The tick, it opens. Now, this is going to be tight at first, but we'll see what happens. This gives us a 6.1 pip window. If we move up to the next candle, it increases up to 8 pips. If we jump up to the next candle, we're up to about 9.6 pips. We're at 10.7 pips. $11.2 pips. And see how we're peaking off at about 12 pips? 12 pips. So do you see what happens? I could use slightly larger Rinko bars to get that original spread a little bit bigger, but now our Rinko bars and the trailing are matching up the average spread that FXCM is giving us. Does that make sense of why we switched? With the 2 pip Rinko bars, this was too tight and it kept getting stopped out. 3 pips is matching the average spread we're getting from FXCM. Is this going to work every single time? No, but our 2 pips was working almost 0 amount. 2 pips was giving us maybe a 10% of the time we were getting profit out of it. Now the last 3 trades that have moved with the 3 pip Rinko boxes, I pulled out a profit. So that's why it's important. Now it's important to also watch this. Just because you make a profit, you don't stop recording the data every time, because you want to see, is that spread increasing or decreasing? So every time you want to do it. It's a work in progress always. You always want to go back and review your log and see what the spread did. Because if you start seeing, well, hey, the spread's actually shrinking a little bit, then you could shrink these boxes down a little bit to maybe 2.5 pips per box. In my opinion, these should probably be about 3.2 to maybe 3.3, but I'm not going to get that complicated because I want people to understand first why. So if I say use a 3.3 pip Rinko box, people are going to be like, is this motherfucker crazy? So 3 pip Rinko boxes on FXCM. If you are not on FXCM and you do not know how I derived this number, you need to send me your spreadsheet. I will look at your spreadsheet, and then we will take a look. Again, if there's a new move at 9:30, we'll review it, and I'll show you what we're looking for and what we're putting in the spreadsheet. But this, after it took, 2.5 weeks for me to come up with 3 pips. So this is not just you jump in and start freaking trading. It took 2.5 weeks for me to figure out that this is about what should work for it. And so far, it has been working. But that's where I came up with the 3 pips from. And if you check your spreadsheet, you should, if you're on FXCM, have similar numbers, and you should be able to come up. See, what I look at is and it's hard because I don't have a log because I've been cleaning. That's the other thing. Clean out your log files. I'm gonna do a follow up tomorrow on news and cleaning out log files because they do build up. If you don't know how I got to the 3 pips, please send me a private message and I'll do a whole freaking video on it actually. But it's very important that you be able to read your data and figure out what size wrinkle boxes you're going to use because your wrinkle boxes determine how spread is dealt with. Basically, the wrinkle boxes determine how far away they're going to be from this line when it's hit. And we can see it gradually goes up to about 12, which brings me right into the window I want to be, 10 to 12 pips away from price. And we would have got stopped out probably this candle due to spread in here, instead of getting stopped out this. If we were using 2 pips, this trade would have closed on this candle right here. So again, we would have gotten like 4 pips of profit. So that's why we changed. Again, if you're on a different broker, fill out your. If you haven't been filling out your spreadsheet because you thought I was nuts or full of shit that you need to be doing this, start filling it out. I guarantee you start filling it out and you adjust your spread to this, it's gonna work. I mean, it's hard for it not to work because you're matching. The EA is now matching market conditions. Why do EAs fail? Like, why does every other EA in the world fail? And there's a few that do this. They try and match market conditions, but 99% of the EAs out there you see people tossing out at the world, 1, they're fully automatic. They don't turn themselves on or off. And 2, they don't adjust to market conditions. Yes, it's an extra step that you have to go in and you have to check your freaking log and you have to get your spread, get your slippage, blah, blah, blah. But then you're able to see, are market conditions gradually changing? Is the spread changing? I mean, it's just common sense. The EA can't do it for you. You have to go in, use your brain, and see if market conditions are changing. You have to go in and use your brain for your broker and see, well, what should my average spread be? Yep, it's consistent. And then set up your EA correctly. Now, a couple things, if the question that I had on Skype, if your broker isn't giving you an average spread, let's say one trade is 4 pips spread, one trade's 20 pips spread, one trade is 18 pips spread, I would honestly say switch brokers. We could do it longer term and see that if per news item it stays the same, but why go through that freaking headache when there's a couple brokers out there who, it's like FXCM for instance, and I'm not trying to push them down your freaking throat. I'm saying that during news releases, if we go through, it's an 8 to 12 pip spread. I'm looking for the middle ground of about 10. I do see a max of 14.8 is what I've seen over the last 3 weeks. The biggest spread I saw was 14.8 pips. So I took the average of that and made my wrinkle candles match it. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, hit me up directly because you're never going to do it right unless you understand that portion. Let's see, Roderick. Let's see, questions. I don't have a trading account linked to MT4. Should I do that first? Roderick, first, all we need is you need to have an MT4 with live, and then we need to get your indicators on there. That'll be the first step. Again, if you need help with me doing that, let me know. Tomorrow morning, I'll put aside the live for a little bit. I'll jump on your computer and get you set up. Once that's set up, if you're doing binary, for instance, you'll have this open, and then you have Markets World open if that's your broker. And you watch your charts here, and here's a buy. Then you go to Markets World and you click buy. Unless you're going to use like Core Liquidity Markets, which I believe you're in England. I'll type it into your chat. Core Liquidity Markets. If you use them, then you can do everything from MT4. You can do your buys, your sells directly from MT4. So that might be one to look at. But if not, a good starter is Markets World. The drawback there is you have to have MT4 open and their broker window open so that you can punch in your trades into their broker window. Alright, so 910 was some dipshit talking. I didn't think he was going to move it much, but I'm not about to trade on it. That was Bullard Speaks. Let's load up by normal charts because US CAD's going to be the next one we do a news trade on. So Euro USD is 33. Let's template it back to 1, build wrinkle 1. Build 1, and let's open up the Euro USD. Oops, Euro US, no Euro CHF. And guys, you saw when I was loading up these, I do screw up too. I mean, I loaded up the wrong goddamn pair. That's a pretty freaking newbie mistake. If you make mistakes, I mean, don't get pissed off. Alright, so we're all loaded back up for scalping. Again, we have... Blah, I can't talk. We got Droggy up in about 18 minutes. Super Mario ain't touching. So we're in a no trade zone right now because Droggy's coming up. I mean, we could... I'm at 0.0. Let me drop down to 0.01 lots. I'm not going to send signals on this, though, because even if it's a small amount, I don't want to send any more. Yesterday we did a couple tests, and... Okay, so we're at 0.01. Let's jump through them real quick. This was a miss. We could have done an entry there. It broke the support down. Let's zoom out a little bit, see if there's anything back there to worry about. If we look off to the left, we got a little bit of turbulence here, up and downs, but nothing big. If we get a closed green candle, that would worry me. If we get a red closed down, I'll jump in on a buy. We got 18 minutes to dick around. Or a sell, I'm sorry. Candles, again, this little blue line here is 1 minute. Anything below this, it means these candles are taking less than 1 minute to form. So like this little run up here, even though it looked good, most likely we had no chance of getting in that. Because all these candles, shit, they didn't even register. Here, let's take a look. So wrinkle time, that one took less than a second to form. Less than a second. That one took, I'm sorry, less than a minute. That one took almost a minute. These are all a little bit over a minute. I opened up the data window, by the way, to take a look at these. And see, they're all going really quick. Bullshit, I missed it. Sorry. I should have entered right there on that red candle. Again, because it's news, these aren't like trades I would take. So if you're watching, and I wouldn't be jumping in on these trades. I'm just sticking around right now till news gets here because it's something to do. Okay, so what we can see is we're getting stair step, stair step, stair step. We got two greens. This would me be a warning to wait. We're getting lower, lower, lowers. Our higher lows are moving down. Our lower lows are moving down. This might be a break. This was a breach of the pattern. Even though it's a tiny-ass little pattern, it was a breach of the pattern. So if we would have jumped in, we would have been knocked out because my spread is 1.5 pips. So blah. I'm kind of happy this is working again. It's nice to fucking actually be getting questions. I was getting aggravated because I was talking and no one was saying anything or anything, and I didn't realize I was broadcasting to nobody and that nobody could see I was even going live. I got a freaking giant mosquito bite. Okay, so we got 15 minutes. I am gonna go make some coffee. See if there's anything. What we can see here is line turned blue and blue underneath it, which means a possible upward move, but again, not touching. We have a speech going on. We're about to have another speech. Stupid time to trade. I wish the markets looked like this yesterday, because everything's moving nice and fast, and we had a trend yesterday, but it was a super slow one. Average candle size are all nice. We're over 2 pips on them. GBP's over 3 pips, hitting almost up to 4 pips. Euro's even looking decent with 2 pip candles. UJ is almost at 3 pip candles. Not 3 pip candles, 3 pip average movement per like 15 candles, 30 and 60. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I don't know what to tell you. Right, let's get rid of that arrow. Goodbye. Alright, so I'm going to go make some coffee real quick and I'll be right back. If you have questions, type them in Slack, Skype, or the YouTube page. Hello. And I will be back. Let me mute so in case the cat comes in, you don't have to hear him screaming his head off. He likes to talk. I'll be back. And we are back. Okay, so let's 8 minutes. Let's start loading up US CAD. File, new chart. I believe it's in 4x2. Alright guys, so I'm gonna pause a sec. News traders, again, pay attention. We're gonna go through the setup. Now, why are we using US CAD was the question I had on Skype. Because on oil, if you trade oil, you need to trade a minimum of 1 lots. And so unless y'all have like a $10,000 account, I would highly recommend using US CAD. So let's go to template. We're going to do build 3. Did I load up the wrong damn template? Why is it not loading? That's odd. Oh, 1 minute, sorry. So there's a good mistake for you. Switch to the 1 minute template. I'm so used to having it already on 1 minute. Now we do build 3. So if you load it up and this doesn't pop up and it just beeps, it's because you're not on the 1 minute chart. So nice and easy mistake there. Told you I'd screw up too. Now we want to build our Rinko chart with 3 pip boxes. So we go to, tells you right here, US CAD M33, file, open offline, US CAD M33, open, template, Rinko News. This is a 9:30, but we'll go ahead and use the 9 o'clock set, and we'll just change the time since it already has the right date. So load, 9 o'clock set. It's basically, guys, you keep your set files updated. It makes it easy to do these things. And we'll just hit save. We'll keep it 9 o'clock. Yes, and that is it. We'll use... I'm going to trade 0.01 because this one, again, is just a screw-off one. I'm going to use a 5 pip straddle. It's going to be extremely tight, but again, oil is for more educational purposes than anything. It'll get a move sometimes, but it's kind of a wonky move. I should use a minimum of a 6 pip, to be honest, but we'll do a 5 pip just to see if we can catch something so we have a log file to look at. And now we're on boredom. We have 5 minutes. So are there questions? Because we've got 5 minutes to waste. Again, I would typically use nothing less than a 6 pip straddle. Since I'm using 3 pip Rinkos, I would do a 6 pip straddle on everything. I'm using a 5 on this one just to see if we can force a catch so that we have a log file to review. So even if it moves a little bit, we'll catch it. It's probably, if it moves a little bit, I'll lose money. But at least we'll have a log file to review. And remember, we also have Draghi, but I'm not counting on that one. Oh, my nose finally cleared up a little. Yay. I can breathe out of both nostrils. I slept with the windows open. It's got down to 73 last night. And I love sleeping with the window open. My cat slept by the window the whole time, too. Somehow I got 2 moths in here, though, and he's been going ape shit. Because you can see them, but they've been up around the ceiling by the light. So remember, if we do have questions, hit them now. Roderick, if you're still in, those 2 links I sent you. Core Liquidity Markets is an all-in-one. So if you have it, MT4 will let you trade from MT4. Markets World, on the other hand, you'd have to have this window open, and you would have to have, well, this is with 90% of the other brokers for binary options. You'd have to have this one open to watch for when to trade, and God, why did Markets World freeze up? Figures. After this news trade, guys, I'm going to have to take a break because I have someone coming by. So 3 minutes to go. 10 minutes. I told him about 10 minutes from now I'm available. So that'll... He's actually going to take a look at the code, the dots that I showed y'all. I don't even know if I have them up here on any charts. These dots, he's actually going to come take a look at them. So I'm interested to see. He's from the local Forex group that I'm in. We meet at the bar and drink and talk Forex. If you can get any freaking dorkier than that. It's nice to actually sit down and meet with people who trade, though. What are we at? 27. Let me get back to US CAD. And again, check. We have the happy face. Always check for the happy face. I don't care if you've done this 30 times. Double check every time, because if you miss a setup and then it spikes out nice, you're going to be pissed. I've done it several times where I didn't bother to check and see if everything was set up and running. Like that Euro, instead of Euro USD, I opened up Euro CHF. I mean, like I said, I screw up too. A lot of times because I'm doing the videos, I'm trying to hurry so I don't bore y'all. Oh God, that coffee's hot. We still got 2 minutes. UJ changed. You can tell something's going right now since Draghi is up, and we had 3 speeches in 30 minutes. Market's acting a little weird. It's bumping up and down. There hasn't been, I guess you could say, nothing definitive was said, or else we would have seen a direction spike. US CAD, US CAD. There we are. So 50 seconds till this pops. We'll see if anything happens. I typically, like I said, I'm not expecting much out of this. If this was one that I expect to move, I would not be broadcasting live. I also expect if you're doing the news trades, you don't have anything else running but this on a high impact news release, because remember, that millisecond it takes from here to the broker is when your order gets placed. So if you have something else running, like I saw someone running freaking uTorrents, downloading torrent files, that also uploads, so that affects your download and your upload. Don't be doing shit like that. It's stupid. It's going to affect your entry. So we got 10 seconds, and it's going to pop our on there. Price is moving a tiny bit, but not much. And here we go with our pendings. Remember, this is super tight. Do not recommend it. And there's the news release. So we'll check this on the log file. It doesn't look like it's going to do too much. See, it's not going to drop enough to go in profit. We'll let it run. Just so this is kind of a slow motion of what happens on these big news releases. So this is what's happening in slow motion. So it did shut. It was a loss of negative 1.8 pips. Now, this is honestly a really good example, because this ran slow enough that you can see exactly what happens on a high impact news release that moves super fast. That is a possibility. Even you could pretend this was a 20 pip drop up. That's exactly how the EA works. It's designed to minimize your losses. I lost 1.8 pips. That is not bad at all. I mean, that's like pissing in a bucket. It's nothing. Now, if it spikes down, the more it spikes down, the more likely you are to be in profit. That's why it's so important to dial it in. Right now, it didn't go out. I guess you could say it didn't hit the Goldilocks zone. If you know what that means where the Earth is around the sun. We're in the Goldilocks zone. This is Mercury right here. It had no chance of making any type of profit. Well, I would say this got to the Venus range. If it would have dropped one more candle, we would have been in profit when this closed. So we're waiting for this trade to go into like what's called I'd call it the Goldilocks zone. Once it hits the Goldilocks zone, you're golden. Until it gets out of that, we're in the Mercury-Venus zone, and we're just burning too hot, and it gets stopped out. So negative 1.8 pips. So what do we need to look at next? File, open data folder. We go to MQL4 and files. Today is the 28th, and we're looking for US CAD on the 28th, which is right here. And you all must think I'm a lazy bastard. Okay, so that's log file 1. Second log file, US CAD 28th. And we go down. So it's, what do we see? Deleting buy stop because sell stop hit. So what does that tell us? It tells us that a sell was opened on this trade. Simple as that. Nothing there. There wasn't any slippage or anything. That was a very slow paced trade. So we can close that. There was nothing for us to see in there. Now let's go over here First, 17, we know it's at 30, so let's just jump to 30. Right before we get to 30, though, we will pause. Here's 17.29. Now, here's our spread. Look, it was 1.8, 1.9, 2.1. And spread really didn't, we don't see a big increase. Spread jumps up into above 2 pips. And then it immediately drops almost down to 729, 51, 56. Here we go. Here's the news release. There's at the news release. We're at a 2.2 pip spread. The most we see is it bump up to about 2.8. Again, this wasn't a big mover, so we didn't expect to see the spread go anywhere crazy. So the maximum we got out of was 2.8. So if you wanted to, you could you could drop that in. But again, these are more for educational. But this is what you need to look for, is see if there is a big divergence in spread, then take about the average and throw it in your spreadsheet. That way you can start getting a feel for what your broker's average spread is. I got someone coming over to take a look at the indicator, so that's going to sum it up for now. It's 9:33. I'll leave it open for questions for, say, 3-4 more minutes. So if you have questions, please hit him up now, and I'll cover it. Otherwise, I got to be ready. He's going to be here in a bit to look at that code. So if we have questions, let's hit him up now. But you can see the EA did exactly what it was supposed to, and it worked even better since we're running the right size pip blocks. Rinko size pip blocks, whatever. I hope we all know what I mean. As for the rest of the day, there isn't shit on the board. George, FOC member George speaks at 6:15 tonight. That's it. Tomorrow there is a 1:35 a.m. another speech. 7:30 tomorrow morning, though, there's unemployment and GDP. That will be a mover most likely. And then Yellen speaks again tomorrow at 3. But the 7:30 tomorrow morning should be a mover. So that'll be an interesting to watch. If we have no questions, I am going to wrap it up. You got about 2 minutes left for questions. Roderick, just in case you send me any questions, a friend of mine is going to be on my computer, so I might not be able to respond to you for a bit. Or anyone else who is watching. I may not be able to respond for a bit because he's going to look through the code and we're going to play around with it. Because my coder's baffled and he doesn't say he can fix it, but he wants to take a look at it. Because it's odd that it works on 2 pairs and not 2 pairs. Oh, yeah. Sorry, didn't mean to whistle. Just realized what I was doing. If that's it then, guys, I have seen no questions. I'm going to go ahead and end it. I will see y'all tomorrow morning. Hopefully my friend can figure that other one out, because I have an interesting idea what I'll be doing with it. I just want to be able to back test it to get a rough idea if it works or not. Alright then, y'all have a good one. I am done. I'll see y'all tomorrow.